Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of July the 19th, 2024. What does Alita motivate us to do? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian, from this week, Linville, North Carolina. And I guess I'm the only one on the stream right now. And here we have Vladi. How's it going, Vladi, from the Shires in UK?
Hello again, after what, an hour or something, after a little meeting?
Something like that. Yeah, just a long time ago. Yeah, just an hour or so.
Yeah, plotting and scheming, the Alita Army always are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're plotting and scheming and plotting and then plotting and scheming some more.
That was a reference to Rosa Salazar talking about how they're always plotting and scheming for the Alita sequel.
That's exactly right. So, and we
hopefully
don't mind
they still are. Please don't give up, Rosa.
Yeah, well, I know one thing: we're not going to give up. At least I don't intend to give up. So
yeah.
there we have it.
Well, if Rosa and Cameron have given up, then there's not much point not giving up.
Nah, well, even at that, I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing. Maybe that'll rekindle their desire for a sequel or something like that. So who knows? I don't think though that they've given up, Lottie. You know, I just think it's there's
I think we'll find out.
Cameron, Cameron's actually busy on Avatar, so he's, I think Avatar 3 is in post and they're filming 4 and 5. So, I think he's pretty busy, and of course, Rosa's very busy because she's got some new projects going. She's going to be in Captain America 4. She's going to be in a play in Los Angeles. And so she's a busy lady herself, so, and I'm not sure what Robert Rodriguez is doing these days. He's, if I know him, though, well, I don't know him. I don't know him at all, actually. But my thought about him is that he's always busy too. So
he's always busy. He started that action movie fund. Hopefully, he uses that to help get the sequel as well at some point.
Yeah, we would hope so. And of course, we're hoping that we get another producer that's as good as John Landau, which is going to be hard to do. But hopefully, they'll find somebody that can fit the bill, as they would say. If you want to come on the stream, there's a link. Just click on it. We'll pull you in. So how are things there in the UK, Vladi?
Hot. Finally, it got hot, and now I'm just too hot. Porsche Mendrick. It's probably been hot in ages in Germany. We've had rain all summer, and now it's gotten hot today. But thankfully, tomorrow we're back to clouds.
Yeah, he said it was hot, and that something about his air conditioning not being very.
Yeah, God, I feel so bad for him, Porsche Mendrick.
Yeah, so he's
like, we're all dropping like flies, literally. And Disney are just not doing anything with Alita. It's so depressing.
Well, it's not too hot here in North Carolina up in the mountains. It's gosh, what is the temperature up there? I think it's like 64 degrees Fahrenheit, which that's going to be about let me think about this. 32.5. That's about maybe 20. I guess degrees.
That's nice and cool.
Yeah, something like that.
It's going to drop down to about that tomorrow.
Oh, that's nice. So yeah, it does.
Yeah, today it was like 28 degrees or something.
Ah, well, that's not too bad either, is it? That's what's that about?
Oh, it's so hot, so freaking hot. All the English people are dying.
Well, you guys aren't used to the heat, I guess.
No.
So anyway, yeah, well, it doesn't get real hot up here in the Appalachians, I guess. If it gets in the low 80s Fahrenheit, the locals around here are complaining about it. So, that's nothing compared to, down in the lowlands. It was pretty warm down in Greenville, North Carolina last weekend. So, or Greenville, South Carolina, rather. It was pretty hot down there. It was like 90, I think, Fahrenheit. Not sure what that is. That's like 32, maybe something like that. Celsius. So anyway,
what's the weather like in Australia, Angelus? Where the hell's Angelus?
I don't know. He's supposed to be on because he and I have got to do a recording after this for tomorrow's Radio Chaos, because I'm not going to be able to.
Are you not going to be there?
No, I can't. I got my
Oh.
my youngest grandson is turning 1 year old tomorrow, so I can't miss that.
So we're not having a stream tomorrow as well.
Not gonna have a stream, but we will have a recording. So so you'll be able to get on and chat and do stuff like that. We're gonna do.
We haven't had a stream since John passed.
Yeah, that's right. I guess that's true.
We still need to like do a minute silence or something.
Yeah.
On a stream.
Yeah, we're gonna miss John. That's for sure. Right, and guess who just showed up from down under?
I was just about to get emotional, then the bloody Australian shows up.
Yeah, you don't want to get it. You don't want to get emotional in front of the Aussies.
No, they'll make some inappropriate joke.
Like they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
How's it going there, Angelus?
Bittersweet. Had a bit of a rough early morning.
Why?
Just like, yeah, by rough I mean like I think you call them shin splints, but basically cramps on my shins kept waking me up, I guess.
Oh wow.
Shit.
So I pretty much had like little sleep anyway.
I get that if I drink too much like diet soda, not enough water.
Yeah, I get that if I don't drink enough water. That's right. Well, I don't get shin splints, but I do get like I'll get like a calf cramp or something like that.
Yeah, I get the calf one.
Yeah.
Actually, I get it in my foot sometimes.
Yeah, I don't believe I've had that. So anyway. All right. Well, I guess everything is fine down under, and it's fine over there in the Shires. So I guess we're doing pretty good, I guess.
In the motherland.
In the motherland, that's right.
Well,
indeed.
Well, for us anyway.
Yeah. Well, us too, All righty then.
We created all of you.
That's right. Even though we don't speak the King's English, you still created the English, didn't you? The English, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, yeah, I should have when Vladi popped on, I should have put that slide up right there, but I always forget that sometimes. Well, not always, but a lot of times. And we have Leonardo out there, I can see. We got Ola and Como está Leonardo, and we got Finn, Vigatus Dia Hoita Finn. And,
I thought it was just going to be us lot in the actual stream.
So far, if anybody wants to come on the stream,
it's because we had a few breaks. We had a few weeks break, didn't we? So everyone's lost the habit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, last week we didn't have a stream here either because I was, traveling last week. But we did do that recording on that one as well. And then it was just a replay of one of the Alita streams. And after this stream, Angelus and I are going to get on there and we're going to kind of record a couple of our favorite interviews, with, we'll talk about this a little later, but with Tilly Lockey and Demetrius Polito, so we're going to replay those and, you guys will be able to log in. The one with Tilly, well, they were both fun. You'll get a lot of laughs out of the one with Demetrius Polito because that was the Creek's very first time managing the Radio Chaos. So, it was kind of chaotic, but we pulled it off, So anyway, we'll get to that later when we introduce tomorrow's show, I guess. Just one thing, we want to just remind folks that we do have Rose's Queen Studios bust of Alita Battle Angel. We want to give this to her, and we've had some developments in this area, haven't we, Vladi?
Yeah, we're making progress, plotting and scheming, as we said before.
That's right. And I tagged the Pasadena Theater, kind of a little query to say, hey, we want to give this bus to Rosa. Can you guys help us, basically, is what I said. And, of course, I only did this about maybe 45 minutes ago. So I don't know, or maybe an hour ago. They probably haven't responded. But
yeah,
I I haven't
Yeah,
found an email address for them. Now I did get on their
no.
website, and there is a couple of emails, but it's not for contacting anybody that would set up something like that. One is for renting the theater, one email address, and another one is for gosh, I forget what it was now. But it wasn't talking to anybody that runs the theater. So I will figure that out later. But I'm going to send them an email.
Number, the phone number.
Yeah, there's phone numbers there, and I can call them.
Yeah,
call
it's
them
weird
up.
they don't have an email. Yeah, they've got rentals. I mean, yeah, I suppose. Surely they've got a. Yeah, I'm looking now. I don't see like a generic contact. It's all rentals and season submissions. If you want to be
Yeah,
casted.
that's the other one I saw.
Yeah, you need to be cast as an extra, and then in the middle of the performance, you can be like, Rosa, we want to give you this bust.
No,
Be like, now's not the time.
No, we don't want to do that.
Wait till after the show, Creaky.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do that during the show. There's no way, So
Pretty funny though.
Yeah, I think Charlie and I are, depending on what we hear back from Pasadena Theater or Pasadena, was it not studio? It's not a studio. It's a theater, I guess, isn't it?
Pasadena Playhouse.
Playhouse. That's right.
It's like the California. It's the State Theater of California.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
so it's like the main government.
Yeah.
Theater.
Well, it's not a government theater, but it is the main theater, exactly.
The official state one.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess Charlie Smith and I are going to go one way or another. We got to figure out, what kind of response we get from the Playhouse. But, I'm going to go down there myself, and we're going to buy some front row seats, which are going to be a little on the pricey side, but that's okay. We're going to sit down there with our Alita T-shirts, and hopefully Rosa will see us. We'll catch her eye, as they would say, so, and we'll see how that plays out.
By the way,
yeah.
Sorry, go on. Angelus, did you have something important to say?
I was just going to say that I concur in the context that, this is possibly better ways of, I guess, consuming resources in just even generally promoting the film or promoting Alita through rather than through whatever we do, rather than continually flying banners or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe whether we fly the banner, whether we make a billboard or whatever.
Yeah.
For major and or annual events, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But the reason I felt what made the New York Times article so effective, and granted 50% of it was sheer luck that Landau,
that's not luck, that was fate.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. It was fate.
There was no luck involved there.
Luck favors a prepared mind.
It was literally like God on our side. Just we have to fight against the devil on Disney's side, so it's very difficult.
No one was really against the New York Times advertisement, but there were a few that questioned, is it effective? Is it worth the money, sort of thing? And oh boy, was it ever.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been without that fate serendipity of him arriving back in Los Angeles just in time to see it.
Man, I'm glad he saw that.
Nobody else knows that.
Yeah, that maybe that's a positive memory he had just before he departed the planet. Maybe.
Of course, I'm so happy we gave him that. We showed him how much Alita was loved, and I think that's really beautiful. Yeah.
So, like I say, he's looking down right now on us. He'll see the sequels through our eyes. That for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, we want to give this bus to Rosa, and I guess over the past few months, I have been working up somewhat of a speech for this. When I finally do get to give it to her, if it is indeed me, And if it isn't me, then I'll have it written down and give it, send it to the person that does it or whatever. But maybe this time we might do it. You know, this might be a positive thing right here. You know, we might get it to her now. You know,
Yeah,
now, I thought it was kind of hilarious that Charlie said, "Well, why don't you just carry it with you on the plane?"
No. He kept saying, like, you could just bring it into the theater, have her on your lap. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what? It's
No,
this
no, no,
massive,
no.
heavy statue.
Yeah.
Like walking around with like Michelangelo's David. It's just not going to
Yeah,
happen.
that's right. You know, plus that box right there is pretty big, you know, and it's heavy. That thing weighs about 200 pounds, I think. So, and it's not that it's all that heavy, but it's just kind of awkward too, you know. So when you get anything that's heavy like that and it's kind of big and square like that where you can't get a good grip on it, you know, it's pretty heavy, you know. So
We need
yeah.
we need loads of people coming to this playhouse, and we'll carry it in like a coffin with like all of us holding it underneath.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a scene, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But my hope is if we do get to give this to Rosa, I want to see from Poland we have channel does not exist. Hey, channel.
Hi, channel.
Hey.
So how are things in Poland there, channel?
Extremely hot, as in the weather is extremely hot.
Yeah. Yeah, Smendrick was just sending us some stuff in the chat, you know, saying how hot he was. So
it was 37 degrees Celsius last week.
Jesus.
Holy crap. Holy crap.
And I'm dying because it's like 27 today.
Holy crap.
I mean, in Italy, I'm not in Italy, thankfully, but in Italy, the temperatures actually reached above 40 degrees Celsius during the day. So,
wow. Yeah, Finn says it's hot in Switzerland as well. So it must be all of Europe is kind of getting a heat wave.
The heat wave isn't that just that it's hot, because the maximum temperature isn't actually that much hotter than usual. The problem is that usually during the summer, there's only like, 4 days that are about 30, that are higher than 30 degrees. And now it's suddenly a whole week, like multiple weeks.
We've had like 2 days tops of like semi-hot temperatures. And now tomorrow it's going to be cool again, thankfully.
It's not the maximum temperature that's the problem, because that's not that new. It's how long that maximum temperature stays, which is way too long.
Yeah, I'm like you, Channel. I don't like heat either. I mean, you know, originally I was born, raised a lot of my childhood in Florida, you know, in Southern California. So you'd think I would be used to the heat, but I'm not. I don't like heat at all. I'd rather it be cold, you know, instead of hot. So
yeah, it's nice to have some sunny days. It's just like in our spring, it was just raining and cloudy constantly. But now, whenever it's sunny, it's just too hot.
Yeah,
I just want some nice British spring days, but it's just not happening.
I think part of it is because cold is like easier to deal with, because like if you're a bit too cold, you can just layer up. But if you're too hot, what you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
exactly. Spend thousands on an air conditioning unit.
Yeah, if you don't have air conditioning or a really good fan, you're in trouble, aren't you?
And even if you do, like, that's gonna fix Europe. The standard is to have air conditioning in public spaces, but pretty much no one has air conditioning in their home. So like, there's people who specifically go to to hang out at malls or in gyms just because there's air conditioning there.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the way it is. I know it's hot in Colorado right now, but I'm not in Colorado. So, you know, right now I'm in North Carolina, and it is real pleasant, although it has rained every freaking day I've been here. So, you know, it's hard for me to get my steps in when it rains. But anyway, it is what it is. Just one thing about the bus here, too, and Bloody, you and I were talking about this at our meeting a while ago, is it would make my millennium, as Beetlejuice once said. If to present this to Rosa and see her face light up, you know, I would just make my life almost. You know, it'd be so neat, you know, to see that.
Amazing.
You know?
What would she do with it though? Obviously, she'd have to. She probably rides a bike to the. She probably rides a bike to the theater. She couldn't exactly get it home.
Well, she might take Uber, and if we have this planned out right, she could probably take Uber.
Of course, yeah. It's a logistical challenge that she'd
warn
have
her
to
up front so she could think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not gonna take it unless they've got it confirmed.
Surprise, but I feel like if your surprise gift is kind of cute in the moment and inconvenient for the rest of the whatever's happening, then it's better to warn that person.
Yeah, they're not going to take it.
We have a pretty big gift for you, so like,
figure
out how to transport it back home.
Yeah.
Well, Finn, Denver, Colorado during the summer is really hot. It is not as hot as Arizona, say, but it's pretty hot. Or Texas, you know, it's not that hot, but it gets up into like in the 30s for sure in Celsius, or say in the low hundreds in Fahrenheit. But you said, and this city is always hot. I guess you're referring to where I am now. This is not a city where I am now. It's not. It's barely a township. I think the entire population of this township I'm in right now is like 270 something. So it's just very small, you know, little town, you know, in the mountains of North Carolina. It's not like Denver, but anyway.
Krieg.
Yeah.
Has nothing happened with Sarah Lucky and the
Yes, I sent well, yeah, I did. I talked to Sarah, you know, here last week, I guess, before I went to the my competition, you know. Yeah, and we had a nice chat, you know. She sounds like a very nice person, you know.
She's really nice. The whole Lucky family are lovely.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed talking to her, you know, and I, of course, once again told her that the Alita Army loved Tilly and all that, you know, and she was great to hear that. But since I'm in North Carolina right now, she did send me the banking information that I would need to do an ACH transfer to Open Bionics. But I can't do that here in North Carolina because the Alita Army account is in I guess is in Denver, Colorado, and Golden, Colorado, actually. So, and you can't do that over the phone. You got to go do it live. You know, they can see who you are and check out your, you know, check out your ID and stuff like that. But I did send her an email and thanked her for that and said, "It's the day I get back into Colorado, I'm going to send the money." So everything's set up. I just got to get back to Colorado and send the money. So and that's all we have to do.
Yeah. You're so busy lately, Krieg.
Well, you know, keeps me young.
Busy guy, yeah. You're probably younger than me and mentally.
I don't know.
Not that I'm trying to segue or anything, but that's what Alita motivates us to do.
That's exactly right.
Stuff that like we wouldn't think of or usually do, and yet we do. I was about to say extensively. Instinctively. Blech. English is hard in the morning.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, like I say, I want to see, it'd be just wonderful to see Rosa's face light up when she gets this. I just love that. You know, it'd be great. So anyway,
it'll more be shock, like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Well, hopefully not. You know, I mean, you know, Rosa has means. She'll be able to.
I can't get this in my pannier bag on the back of my bike.
Yeah, I bet she don't. I bet she won't be riding a bike when this thing.
If you have something this big, you warn people.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Don't worry, channel. They're not bringing it down unless they've got confirmation that it's.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's one of the
things. The theater and stuff.
Yeah.
So
obviously, it wasn't a massive, expensive Alita statue, but I was once given a gift that was just. I had zero. It was like some kind of. It was a small porcelain animal, but I have the absolute. It was on. I had absolutely no idea how I would. Or some other occasion when I was already moving a lot of stuff. And I had absolutely no idea how to pack it, because the way I was planning to carry my stuff basically left no room for things that were fragile, because okay, so I can shove all this together, and that should probably be able to carry that via public transport. So pretty much I had zero idea how to carry any additional stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think
and it's
funny.
Fragile, and it's just nice surprise, but how the hell am I getting this home without breaking it on the way?
Well, we're going to have that all coordinated, though, because we talked about that at the meeting, you know, that Charlie just wanted me to bring it down to LA. And I said, no, no, we can't do that.
Yeah. He's like, can you bring it into the theater?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Just have it on
buy it in its own seat.
Yeah, exactly. She'll need her own seat.
Yeah, she would.
Just put her in there wearing sunglasses. They'll never know.
Yeah, holding that Damascus blade. They'll never think of it, you know. So yeah, but we'll get confirmation back from the theater, and hopefully even from, because I'm going to send another email to Rose's agent and tell her what we're doing, what we're trying to do. They have never responded to me, but I figure if I say, hey, we're setting this up with you or without you, so maybe they'll respond then, you know. But if
not, they're still going to go down and just watch it and show support from the Alita Army to her performance.
Yeah, even if we don't get the confirmation that Rosa says, first of all, you know, it's going to be a challenge just to get Rosa to be knowledgeable that we are trying to get this to her, you know. I get the feeling that there's like several layers, you know, of agents and, you know, assistants and stuff like that between her and us, and getting through those sets of firewalls is difficult, you know. But I think even if we can't get through, you know, we will go down there, and Charlie and I have already got a plan. We're going to sit down in the front row. We're going to be wearing Alita Army t-shirts. So that'll be, you know, so she'll see us, you know, hopefully we'll be conspicuous, you know. So it'll be fun one way or the other, I think. Okay, now we also got.
I want to go. I'd love to see her live in a play.
Well, book yourself a ticket to LA. I
can't. It's too far.
I was just there. Why doesn't it ever happen when I'm there?
Yeah, that's right. Angelus was here.
You should have saved it for September, Alita Day.
Well, he probably got it when the beginning was the best. I would think, Body.
I missed out on Rodriguez's star reveal in front of the Paramount Theater. Obviously, I'll be missing out on this play as well. Yeah, all sorts of things.
Yeah, we if we can, I'm not sure they'll let us. We might take a shot or two of the play, you know, but they usually frown on that, so it's going to be difficult to do that. But hopefully we can get something. We probably won't be able to stream it, but you know, we'll get something. We'll get something going there, you know, for sure. Also, we got the Alita sequel petition right here, and wow, we kicked it up a couple of notches, because I think it was 178,210 or 12, something like that 2 weeks ago, and now it's 178,226. I guess you know, I'd have to go back and see what it was, but looks like we added a few. So if anybody on the stream here watching, or you future people watching, if you haven't signed the petition, there's the link there below the image on the screen. And also that link is below in the description below the screen as well. So you can just click on that, enter your name and email, and you have signed the petition. You don't have to give any money for this. Just, you know, just sign into it and enter the data, and you've done your part to help us keep reminding Disney that we're not going anywhere. So much to their chagrin, maybe. But also, we got the Alita Gaming Network. And, of course, we got all kinds of things going on there. I know I try to put some kind of link on there every day. Now, I haven't been able to do it for about 3 days this past week because I was doing that competition. But You know, we got some kind of cool things go on there. You know, not just the Alita live streams, but the Radio Chaos shows, and Chaos Nova does some streams that he puts in there. There's some text channels in there, and you can upload stuff to. Anybody can upload content on there, and Matu and I are actually kind of administering that. And Matu, I think, probably is better at it than I am. But you know, we're going to make sure we don't have any inappropriate stuff get on there, and you know, kind of mess it up for us, because we want this to be a fun thing, you know, for the Alita fandom. And we also have not just Alita stuff. Some folks, I think, even, well, let me say this too. Angelus has also uploaded some stuff on there, like from the game Stellar Blade, which is pretty cool. We also have an off-topic channel on there. So if you, in other words, you want to just start a discussion going on something that's maybe not entirely Alita related, you can go into the off-topic channel and kind of post that stuff there as well. And we even got a couple of voice channels on there. So if you want to get on there and talk to folks, you know, you can do that as well. So
yeah,
there's the link.
I streamed a little bit of a game not too long ago.
Oh,
I was thinking of getting that what's that new Cyberpunk game? No One Wants to Die or something. It looks quite interesting. Looks like on a Blade Runner-y.
Ah, okay. Yeah, anybody can upload to this game, to this channel. Or this
Well,
network.
yeah, you can't really like, yeah, streaming's a bit different than uploading.
Yeah, well, streaming's difficult, you know, because you can't stream. The only way you can stream, now I didn't do that for this week, but I have done it in the past, is you just put the link, you know, for the YouTube, I guess the YouTube show or video in there, and it'll play, you know, so, you know, you can be watching the stream that way, but you can't really stream to Discord itself, you know, but you can still.
Well, you can stream games to Discord. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
You can stream games to Discord, Creaky.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then maybe you can stream, you know.
You can indeed.
Also, yeah. Okay. Maybe you can.
No, I don't think you can stream like video content, but you can stream video games.
Ah. Well, anyway, some of these, you know, some of the Radio Chaos stuff and the Alita live stream stuff and Chaos Nova stuff. And I even put one stream on there from a guy that I've been following. He's in the Alita Army. His name's Culture Casino. He also, you know, wants a sequel. So I kind of put a couple of his things in there too, you know, and he has really interesting discussions, you know, on his channel as well. So, but anyway, that's all in there in the live streams channel. So if you want to join, you don't have, doesn't cost you anything. You can, there's a link below the little Alita chibi that you see right there. And that link is also down in the description. Now that link is only good for 7 days. Now, I think when we get to a certain level of membership and we've been around for a certain period of time, then that you can start putting permanent links in there, but you can't do that right now because we're still in our infant stages here, and they don't give us a permanent link at this point. But it's really no big deal for me to go get a link and put it here in our stream here. So,
oh, can you eventually get a permanent one?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. As long as we,
how long does it take?
Well, you have to get, I think, to 200, or it might be 100. I'm not sure which.
Oh, you've got to have a certain number of members.
And I think it's either 3 or 6 months. I'm not sure which. But once you meet those two requirements, I think then you can get a permanent link for the gaming network. So
we need to pump those numbers up then.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But like I say, it's not a big deal for me to keep, you know, getting a new link every week. I mean, it's just really a couple of clicks, you know, and then update the slideshow and then update the link in the description. You know, it's really not a big deal. So, okay. All right. So if there's nothing else there, I guess one of the things we want to discuss. Now, this is probably going to be a fairly short stream tonight because Angelus and I have got to do a Radio Chaos recording after this. So
what's the topic that you're recording about?
A couple of interviews, one with Demetrius Polito and one with Tilly Lucky. So
Oh, it's another interview compilation one.
yeah, so you'll be able
sweet.
to. It'll look just like a live stream to you, except you and there'll be a chat as well. Although I won't be there to display your chats, but you can still do chats, and talk to other people watching the.
Can we please have a stream the week after? We haven't had one in ages.
Yeah, we're having streams next week for sure, because next week the Creek will be here for a while after that. Now, if we go down to LA on the 7th, we'll be in the same situation we are now. But, right now we'll have at least 2 and maybe 3 streams. Yeah. Okay, so Vladi. What does Alita motivate you to do?
Well, she kind of motivated me to like move house back in the day. This was like 5 years ago. Because it was sort of like I wasn't really. She could, because of her attitude to like sort of. She doesn't like sit around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of like got me to get off my ass and be like, oh, I don't really like living here. It's time to like move somewhere else. Alita wouldn't just sit here and just like be in a, because it's like a kind of like a small terrace house with a garden that was overlooked by everyone. Just wasn't having it. So she like sort of inspired me to move forward there, but it didn't quite work in other areas. She obviously inspired me. Yeah.
I was going to say, would you say that she inspires you to, or motivates you to not procrastinate, I guess, by the sound of it?
Yeah, I wish she could do more of that though. Because I'll be honest, I do procrastinate quite a lot.
Well,
but that in that situation, absolutely yes. Because I was so motivated by the whole fan activity. I just felt really, and the whole message of her, like she just totally inspired me to get off my ass and make that move.
Wow.
Not to mention locate, purchase, I'd imagine, and look after some budgerigars.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Although,
I mean,
I don't know. I named them after Gally and Johnny, John Landau and Alita.
Oh, when you said Gary, you meant Alita.
Gally.
Oh, Gally.
No, I called her Gally, so it's not too on the nose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like Alita and Johnny. It's got to be a bit subtle when you're naming stuff like that. I think it'll be a bit.
Well, if you really want to be subtle, you would have said Gary in terms of Gari, because that was Alita's original name, I think.
Yeah, that's a bit too obscure. Plus, it's a girl, and yeah, I guess it is still a girl's name, Gary. But yeah, not a big fan of that name.
Well, you put a Y on the end of it instead of an I, then it's a boy's name. So, which I'm proud of.
Well, yeah, she's motivated me to sort of come out my shell a bit more, coming on these streams, engaging with the fandom.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, really.
Yeah. Well, you also engage in the you're engaged in the Alita Army organization too, aren't you?
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, a little more of the I wouldn't call it official, because the fandom was around before the
I wasn't even thinking about the organization.
Yeah.
It's more like the Alita Army was obviously, it's not about an official organization that's that's bureaucratic nonsense, really.
Well, the Alita Army organization is about Alita. We don't, this is not a this isn't like a corporate entity trying to, do what corporate entities do, for sure, So, this is all about our girl. So,
yeah,
wow,
exactly.
we lost channel. Wow.
Oh no.
Yeah, she has trouble with her internet from time to time, doesn't she?
I'm like staring at the screen.
Probably overheated.
I only just realized it now.
Well, is the uwu got you again, Angelus?
Well, that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Angelus, what's since I guess we've lost channel, if she gets her internet going again, she might pop back on. By the way, if anybody wants to come on and tell us what Alita motivates you to do, there's the link. You can jump on, say it real fast, and jump off if you want, or you can jump on and stay on. You know, we'd love to have you either way.
And it doesn't matter about your English or your timetable or
that's right,
whatever.
That's
Say
right.
As long or short as you want.
Yeah, if you just want to jump, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to I guess answer your question, I guess the very first thing, like outside of the obvious, in the context of like seeking out other fans, it's natural human behavior. If you really like something, you gravitate towards other people that like the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And loving Alita is no different. But I guess the first thing that really motivated me or altered my behavior or habits is, it started off slow, like guesting on Den's stream. Then after I got comfortable with Den, I started like co-hosting with him. And then, it obviously built up from there to co-hosting on Radio Chaos. And then obviously as real life took more of Den's time, we took over that responsibility, building it up again even more with Creaky and I when you first joined up.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can get into more detail when it's when we get to you, for example. But I mean, like just learning how to stream, learning how it all even works, because like, it's not just Alita's the first mango I ever bought. Like it's, I don't know. Another example, especially in my case as well, is that I believe I signed up on Twitter on 2015 or 14, something along those lines. And I was involved in the hashtag Save Lucifer campaign, which ended up getting saved by Netflix. And it went from 3 seasons to 6.
Oh, that's nice.
And then as I started getting more involved with the Alita fandom, like as we are now, I guess that's when my experience with the Save Lucifer campaign like really kicked into gear. And it's like, upgrading from the doll body to the berserk body sort of thing. It's like I just changed into like just like how Alita's berserker body changed when drew a more, what was it, subconscious image of herself,
something like that.
Which that's in the account that posts like a gif of every scene going through the whole movie. We've just got to that scene now. It's really nice. It's kind of fate as well that obviously they out of respect for John, it paused posting for a few weeks or a couple of weeks or something. And now it's back and it's continued in this glorious scene of rebirth, because obviously she nearly dies and she gets a symbolic rebirth when she gets in her berserker body. It's like a new life. So I thought it was a kind of beautiful moment, and it's just such a stunning scene as well. John Landau helped to create this majestic work of art. It's just so stunningly beautiful, and that scene is just epitomizes that kind of beauty.
Yeah, both
And
of
it's
those
got
scenes, that right when she was on the table the first time getting in the doll body, and then the second time when she was getting put in the berserker body, both of
yeah,
those scenes are kind of stunningly beautiful, aren't they?
of course, they're literally like cinemas, like in terms of VFX, they're just some of the most beautiful, and in terms of like the emotion of what it means to her and her journey, they're just absolutely stunning. Again, I'm just full of like love for it, but also incredible anger that it was so dismissed by the industry. And I hope
At
the
the
whole
very
industry
least.
like is destroyed for destroying Alita.
At the very least in the VFX aspect, because as I'm thinking back, you know, like when you really consider generally universal goats, if you want to call it that, greatest of all times. You know, you have like a movie like The Sound of Music going back decades on decades. You know, I think the first movie that I saw multiple times at the cinema was the Titanic, and you know that's probably the out of the top 4 or even the top 10 even maybe. I'd have to take a look at that, but like out of the at least the top 4 I know that much obviously, but Titanic's like the oldest movie by far and large, so it's I guess cultural relevance even has withstood the test of time and probably continue to do so for a few more decades to come. And I mentioned this because, you know, I genuinely do feel that Alita, at the very least in terms of the VFX, is very much the same way. You know, where it could be argued that we're still in the technological age, and even if you were to take away the fact that Cameron doesn't like his excuse me, that Cameron's always like he doesn't wake up unless he's pushing boundaries or breaking them. And yeah, I do feel that maybe it started with Avatar, but continued with Alita.
Yeah, for sure. And he just like the way he committed fully to the whole making her a CGI construct, and the way he was all like fuck the haters to the people like shitting on the eyes. That is so like inspiring as well. It just makes you want to like never give up because you just want to stick it to the haters as well. They were just so wrong. And it's unbelievable that Disney executives like they would side with them over Cameron. It's just so disrespectful.
Actually, now that you mention it, that's also another good point. And it does have a link back to like how Alita motivates us, and I'll get to that in a second. But like just Cameron, you know, sticking with his guns even after his decades of experience. It's like, but you're complaining about the eyes? Fine, I'll make it bigger. Sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And like I guess the only alteration you really did was make them more like, well, Rose's eyes, which we all know.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say that, but he basically just increased the size of the iris, so it filled up more of the white, so it was less off-putting. But at the end of the day, she looked absolutely stunning with those eyes in the final product, and it's just like such a crime that it wasn't like universally praised by everybody.
Oh, I know it knocked my head off the first time I saw her open her eyes, you know.
Incredibly stunning.
Just, yes,
like
it knocked my
objectively
head
like so beautiful. That's why I feel like it's such a crime that it was so shit upon.
Yeah.
I think the fact that like when you first saw it, of course we know that it's uncanny valley because it's just not what we usually see even in sci-fi or heavy VFX sci-fi movies, and yet it still looked so. It looked like as real and as detailed as, like, you know, the skin pores, the hair, the clothes, like literally everything.
Even that little scar on her nose.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All the little peach fuzz on her face, just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she had to look that real. And you mentioned Uncanny Valley, but that's like a negative feeling you get from seeing someone that's not quite human, but looks human. But I didn't get that whatsoever, so I don't even accept using that in reference to Alita.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's like that sweet spot, if you want to call it that, where, I mean, at least for me anyway, you know that it's like VFX, and yet it's like VFX that just looks so real.
It's so seamless, you don't think of it as VFX. And that's what the creators said. That's what they tried to achieve, and they were just a massive success. It should have easily won the VFX Oscar. An absolute crime that it didn't even get nominated. Like literally one of the biggest, like it's like the 9/11 of the Academy.
Yeah.
And what did Landau say? So Avatar, it didn't have to be photo real because you can't tell me what's real on Pandora. But Alita had to be photo real because she has to stand, because she's on Earth. She has to stand there next to Christoph Waltz and be real. And they completely achieved that. It's absolutely a historic achievement. And John Landau should be so proud. And I'm so proud of us for showing him that some people did appreciate this beautiful movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when I saw it the first time, I actually thought Alita, and I've said this before, I thought, you know, I knew the eyes were CGI'd, obviously, but I thought that, you know, her face, her hair, all that, I thought she was literally a child actor. You know, I thought that, well, this is a new actress that they've got that's maybe, you know, 18 years old or something like that, you know. And it just completely blew me away. And then it was some while after that I discovered her hair was not real in the movie. It was CGI as well. And it just blew me away, you know, just how
hair is so real.
Yeah.
She's just so ridiculously real.
Yeah.
I never thought she was literally real, but you just don't think about it. You just get immersed in her emotions and her story, and she looks so real, so you just accept her. But I'm not really thinking like, oh, is she real or not? Obviously I knew it wasn't.
It wasn't that I was thinking she was real. It was that it was like, to me, it was just a gut, you know, you know, acceptance that this is a real person that's had her eyes CGI'd, but you know, it's a person, you know, just this is the way she looks really, except for her eyes. And I remember seeing Rosa's name on the credits, and I said, who the hell is Rosa Salazar? I've never heard of her, you know. And of course, I looked her up on IMDb, and you know, I went, whoa, you know, found out she was, you know, in her 30s or something like that. And I'm going, holy cow, you know. I mean, you could still tell the resemblance, you know, but I thought, wow, they really knocked this out of the park. You know, they really did, you know.
Yeah. Well, she had to grow up very fast, so I think she'll always have. But I think she'll always have that childlike aspect to her. Yeah. She what's the word? Emancipated herself from foster care or something like that. So I don't know. She just played that childlike wonder so well, and that rebellion and everything.
Yeah, it was great.
And as I mentioned before, like the link to the topic is that how should I even put into words? There's another way that Alita not necessarily motivates me, but affects me. He just damn uru. In how even she and her story motivates the cast and crew to just bring out the best in them and in us, the fans.
Indeed.
Yeah, I remember I saw it that first time. It was like on a Monday night. Tuesday night. I was in Dallas, Texas on business, and I saw the movie and I went, oh my God, this is a wonderful movie. And I started looking, when's it coming back on? When's it coming back on? I made, because it was on HBO at that point. I made a point to say, oh God, that's great. Alita's coming on, on Thursday night or something. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to watch it again. That's how much it really hit me. You know?
I had to go as much as I could. I didn't want to go I didn't go every day, but whenever I had a couple days off, I'd always go.
Well, it wasn't that I saw it in the movies. I saw it on the TV,
Right.
In a hotel room. And even then it knocked my head off, yeah, it's great, man. It's, it surpassed all of my previous best movies by like orders of magnitude. So, I have not watched any, a matter of fact, I watched this movie again on the way out here. I watched it on my tablet, on the plane again,
I've never been more motivated to rewatch a movie. That's another thing she's motivated me to do, of course.
Yes.
Got to 19 times in the cinema, I think. Did I hit 20? I can't even remember.
Are you counting the re-release, or that wasn't in UK?
Well, I didn't see that. I didn't go to the re-release.
Yeah,
there was I think 20 might have been the one. There was one in Leicester Square. They had like a cult series of movies, and they played that, and I met a couple of Alita Army guys there, which was really nice. Oh. Yeah, motivated me to meet some Alita Army friendos.
Mm-hmm. I'll get to that as well, but in a pseudo link, if you will, to Landau himself, another thing that Alita motivates me to do is, I'm not too good with actual computers themselves, so I can't do renders or anything like that. I can't draw, but I am a gamer at heart, and I play a plethora of genres on PC, on console, and obviously one thing that Alita motivates me to do is anything with any measure of character creation. It's always like, how can I make this character look more like Alita? And
you mean when you're putting skins on them? You mean?
Yeah, like like in terms of how they look, even basic color schemes, like like when it comes to clothing, like so purple, gray, black.
Yeah.
A mix of all of that. So and when I mentioned that it had a straight link to Landau, I mean, I believe either he himself said that in an interview, or someone said that about Landau in an interview, where he said that he can't direct, he can't act, and all this other stuff. He can only produce movies.
That's why he produces. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I mean, and I think someone commented that he focused himself on that job so well that he made like a multi-million-dollar decisions daily, as if they were like, I don't know, common occurrences. Like when it comes to like risk versus reward, most of us will probably be umming and ahhing, and he would go like, maybe think about it for a couple of minutes and says, all right, do it. No, change it. Negative, don't do that at all. Stop it, get rid of it before Cameron sees it, or something like that. It just becomes second nature to him, or at least that's the way that the interviewer made it sound like. So because he dedicated himself to his role, that's how I guess I approached my role within the fandom. When it comes to streaming, when it comes to doing the meetings and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. I see that Finn really he got hooked on Alita and is also drinking a bottle of Bailey's. Okay, Finn, I didn't know that German speakers liked Bailey's Bristol Cream. So
Finn's on the Bailey.
Yeah, he is.
What the fuck?
I love that.
I didn't even think he was old enough to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Completely diverging. That's probably the one thing that my cousin didn't like about America, is because I think 3 or 4 days into our vacation, he turned 18, and 18 is like pretty much the majority drinking age.
Oh yeah. So he couldn't
age.
even go straight to a bar and celebrate.
No, like even when we were in Vegas, he had to like stand on the walkway.
Yeah.
If I was on a slot machine, like he couldn't be even standing next to me.
Yeah, that's right. You can't gamble either.
You have to be like, yeah.
That's like, it's funny though, Angelus, when you and I met up in Boston. It's funny how you meet up with an Aussie and you don't even have one single beer for those 2 days.
We're too distracted by Alita.
That's right, exactly,
and by all the headshots that I got in the VR. That was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, to finish off my little section of this, well, you just mentioned it. Ultimately, I've loved Alita and I've been a fan of her story for that long that my mum, who was basically now that I think about it, she was like the Landau when it came to our US vacation. Mm-hmm. She was the one that made everything happen.
Even calling us when we were at McKinney Falls.
Yeah.
Make sure we didn't get lost.
But yeah, when she mentioned that, like we could have gone anywhere in the world, obviously, of course. Mm-hmm. But the moment she said, I'm thinking I want to plan a US vacation for my cousin Ernest. And obviously he's 18 years old, very young. And, she could have gone in my place, but she thought I would have been a better fit. And I said, right, the only way I'm going is and this is a non-negotiable, you have to add Austin, Texas to the itinerary. Yes. No if, buts, or maybe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. The reason why I did that is, aside from troublemakers, which we didn't get to go, but, one day we will.
Yeah.
Alternatively, I knew that was a close by meeting point where obviously I met Creaky and I, Odd John, had the possibility of joining us as well, although he couldn't make it at that time.
Yeah.
And as a further surprise, I even met Mario, or Mr. Robles, 1939 from X when I was in LA as well. So
nice.
Like I said, to finish up, Alita motivated me to meet the fans that I've come to call lifelong friends, and
mm-hmm.
It's rare that you make these deep connections with people that you've never met in person, and then I go ahead and meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
And none of any of what we've just discussed would ever have happened if you know, if the critics weren't getting all like 33 Rotten Tomato score, 33% Rotten Tomato score, and really bringing down Alita, and you know, me thinking, you know, I want to, you know, flip them the bird, and it's like, well, I'll go watch this movie if you think it's shit, just to spite you, and then all of a sudden turn around and say, critics? What critics? I don't care. I just love this movie, and and you know, the rest, as I say, is history. And yeah, that's how Alita's affected me. That's how Alita's motivated me, and you know, that's just in the past 5 years. What's going to happen in the next 5 years, aside from the sequel?
Yeah, well, we'll see what the next update is. I love that quote that Alejandro said in the chat. From James Cameron, he said, "John Lando gave everyone a sense of purpose and belonging." He definitely gave that to us, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He gave us both of those things. Like, he told us to keep fighting for Alita, and which we will do, John. We're never going to give up.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Belonging. He like made Alita Army feel like we belonged, because you know, a lot, obviously the media and everything was writing Alita off, like all the like assholes on film Twitter and all the like journos, they were trolling us constantly and on Reddit, but they stood by us. And John Lando, and we'll forever love him for that.
And as I affectionately call him, like I've always considered him as part of the, I mean, I still do, even though he's in a, you know, the next stage of life, but I still consider him part of the, you know, Alita Army, Holy Trinity sort of thing. And for him specifically, I've always said that you know, he was our connection, our conduit, if you will, like linking the fans and general public to like the cast, the crew, the creatives, the CCC.
Well, I guess that boils it down to me. I think the first thing Alita motivated me to do, of course, is just watch the movie again, because as I said before, and you guys have heard this story before, but you know, way back in the day, back in 2019, I saw the first trailer for Alita during the Super Bowl, between the first Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. And I saw that and I said, yeah, no, I don't really want to watch a teenage girl beating up on androids, cyborgs, and robots. It's just not my thing, you know, and I didn't really think about it too much, you know, and that was the only trailer I saw too, by the way. And I kind of knew who Alita was because I'd seen her in a comic book store once, you know, and it just didn't do much for me. The trailer didn't, and that was wasn't because the trailer was necessarily bad. It's just that I didn't pay that close attention to it either, you know. But I guess a year later, when I was on a business trip in Dallas, I was sitting in my hotel room, and I had just gotten back from dinner. And I'm sitting there and, you know, kind of flipping through the channels, and I came across HBO, and you know, just as luck would have it, I clicked on it just as Alita was starting, you know, and I thought, well, you know, I'd already been through the channels once and there was nothing on. And I said, well, I think I'll give this a chance, you know, got nothing better to do. So anyway, I start watching it, and the more I watched it, the more it just started reeling me in, you know, kind of thing, you know. And then when she opened her eyes the first time, I went, oh my God, you know. And then I kept watching it. And then the "Fuck Your Mercy" scene came up, and that's when that's, you know, how to put it in a fisherman metaphor, you know, she kind of was, you know, setting the bait, you know, when kind of the first part of the movie. And when the "Fuck Your Mercy" scene came on, it's like she set the hook and reeled me in, you know, and that was all over after that. I mean, that thing just motivated me. And I think the movie came on 2 nights later, and I made a point to stay in the hotel room so I could watch it again. So she actually motivated me to do that because I loved that movie so much the first time I saw it. I mean, I didn't realize it, but I was already in the Alita Army at that point, although I wasn't officially in it. Then I watched it again. I had the same reaction, and then, of course, I've been on Twitter, I guess, or X now it is, since about 2007 or 8, something like that. I actually got 2 Twitter accounts. One's for business and the other one is for the Alita Army, but or business and kind of other stuff. And I'd kind of use that for politics and stuff like that, and I kept seeing these tweets come out, had Alita Army hashtag on it. And of course, after having seen the movie at that point, I already said, well, God, what, Alita Army, seriously? And then of course started going through the post and realized there was something about it. And I think I saw one of Maxie's promotions, for the new Radio Chaos stream. And then that motivated me to start watching, the live stream. Cause I never really watched a live stream prior to that, but I loved that movie so much. And even after I got back off my business trip, I did watch it 1 or 2 more times after that. I thought, God, I got to watch this, so I started watching it. And then of course, after that, got on the live stream, started doing Alita related tweets, stuff like that. So I was motivated to do that. And then got on I guess it was early summer of 2020. I think I got on, I ended up getting on the Radio Chaos. Maxie invited me on. And I never will forget this. My first ever time on Radio Chaos, I wasn't a stream manager or anything. I was just on as a guest. My mic didn't work. So the only way I could communicate was through the private chat, and I just couldn't get my mic to work. There was something wrong with it, I think. So I had to buy a new mic. But anyway, it was just fun, being on the stream at that point. And then, of course, kind of all over the internet, met Angelus, had met Maxie and Odd John and some of the others, Enigma Seeker and so forth. And then I saw Den was doing a stream. I met him on internet, and then of course that motivated me to get on Den's stream. Of course, Angelus was already on Den's stream, so I just start participating on the stream, and it was a lot of fun. Den was even less organized than we are on this stream, but he did have some good streams, and we had a lot of fun on that stream. And then it just when he decided to quit streaming because I guess family and other obligations started overtaking him, Angelus shot me an DM, says, hey, Creek, you want to pick up where Den left off on the stream? And I said, well, heck yeah, so at that point, Angelus and I didn't know what the hell we were doing. We just said, well, okay, we'll just start doing it on Friday night. And so it motivated me to do that. And
doing the Lord's work.
Say what there?
Doing the Lord's work, Creaky, hosting all the streams and stuff.
Well, she is a battle angel, isn't she? So there you have it.
You have no idea.
But it actually motivated me too to start doing videos. My brother is he's kind of an accomplished videographer and a editor, and he won an Emmy some years back and stuff like that. And he kind of encouraged me a little bit to get into editing and stuff like that. And some of my first edits were pretty rough. They're watchable even today. I've gone back and looked at a couple of them. Even today, they're watchable, but they're pretty primitive compared to now, And but she motivated. I say she. Yes, Alita is a fictional character, but she's still our girl in our hearts, But she motivated me to do that, and then of course, motivated us to do this, to do the streams, and motivated us to do things like, the Hero Arm campaign and to do the LA Times thing, that ad that John saw, which I am so glad he saw that. You know, I mean, that's just it made his day. I think that one. And you know, just doing stuff like that, you know, is Alita has motivated me to do. And of course, having done that, I've reaped some benefits from it. I've got to talk to interesting people, you know, like like Demetrius Polito and El Lamont, and well, I never got to talk to Selena Leyen. That'd be kind of neat if I could talk to her. But Billy Blair, I really liked that Billy Blair interview. He was a hoot, you know, and she's motivated me to continue to improve my ability to put together videos. She also motivated me to write a fanfic. I'd never done anything like that before, you know. And certainly she motivated me to buy a bunch of merch like I did. You know, that Kansas bar
so
sign.
much merch.
Yeah, that's right. And the Alita Hot Toys Alita, you know, of course I won one of them, but I did buy the other one with Cran's help. And then of course I bought the Prime One Studios Alita and the little Alitas and stuff like that, you know, and inspired me to read the manga, you know. So Angelus and I read through the manga once, you know, all the way. I think we went all the way through the last order too, didn't we, Angelus, if I'm not mistaken, or was that just the original series? I can't remember.
At least original series.
Yeah, at least that one. Although I have read the last order, so she's inspired me to do that, to the point that one night I was reading something out of the last order, and I remember one night I couldn't go to sleep, so I said, well, I think and this was like 12:30, you know, something like that, maybe midnight, 12:30. And I said, well, I think I'll get up and just read a little bit, and that'll make me sleepy, you know. So I went down and started reading the manga. And the next thing I knew, it was 5:30 a.m. because I couldn't put it down, you know. And luckily it was a Saturday morning too, or else I'd have been in big trouble. But, you know, she's motivated me to do that. But one other thing Alita has done for me as well is not so much that she's motivated me to do this, but she has played a role in that. You guys have heard me tell you that, you know, when I'm doing powerlifting competitions, you know, sometimes your nerves, you can get a little apprehensive about it, you know, and it's you know, it's a classic human thing, you know, to really.
Is that why you didn't win the last one?
No, I didn't win the last one because those two guys, that one guy from Pennsylvania and another guy from California, they showed up this year. So that's why I didn't win this year. Last year I won because they didn't show up, you know, but I still did a fairly solid.
Yeah, you made everyone proud. You got a third, right?
Yeah, I got third. That's right. So bronze medal. So, you know, that was okay. You know, I was all right with that, you know. And those, by the way, those two guys, I met those two guys too. So I could put a face to the name. They're both really great guys, you know. And I remember at my competition this past week, I screwed up my first lift, you know, and one of the guys named Howard, he said, come on, Gary, you can do, you know, you can get that. I mean, you know, come on, man, you've got this, you know. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. A competitor is kind of helping you, you know, giving you some encouragement, you know. So, but what Alita has done for me there is that little locker room scene she's in with Ito, where here she is in the movie, of course, it's a movie, but she's sitting there and she's about to go play this very dangerous, physical, very fast, you know, sport, you know, very, you know, lethal in some cases to some of these guys, you know. Here she is about to go into this for the very first time. And what does she do? Ito, can a human love a cyborg? I went, holy God. So her mind, you know, is like free, just wide open, just free, you know.
Well, she was doing it all for Hugo anyway.
Yeah, she was doing it for Hugo. Well, for us.
She didn't care about it, really.
Yeah, she didn't really want to do it.
As a matter of fact, she told me Hugo was in trouble. Yeah, as soon as Hugo was in trouble, she just dropped it. She's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she told Hugo, I can't be a motorball player, you know, something like that, a pro motorball player. And he said, Allie, you could be champion. So, you know, she didn't give a shit about that stuff, you know. So, but the idea there is that, you know, it's just, for her, it's just another thing she was doing. You know, she wasn't worked up about it. She wasn't stressing out about it and say, oh, if I don't get this, if I don't do this or that, you know, I'm going to lose and stuff like that, which some competitors think, you know, when they're starting, you know. So just very loose with it, you know, and that kind of helps me. Sometimes I'll watch that scene and it'll kind of loosen me up sometimes, you know, if I'm feeling particularly you know, stressed out about it. You know, if I know I got tough competition or something like that, you know, you tend to think about it. So, but anyway, she's done that. And now Alita is motivating me to fly down to Los Angeles or drive, depending on what circumstance, to see Rosa Salazar in a play live. So that's pretty much what she's done for me. She's
yeah.
Yeah,
you mentioned
kinda...
Twitter as well. She motivated me to get on Twitter. Like, I've never really gone this deep into a fandom support before. Nothing's really like inspired me in terms of like needing to support it just because it needed the support.
Yeah.
Like, I had a Twitter account before, but I never used it. I literally only got it to like enter a competition or something. So I was just sitting there idle.
Yeah.
And then we were all like dominate, and then like Alita Army, well, it wasn't called Alita Army then. We were just like jumping in all the posts about what was your favorite movie of the month and like of the year.
Yeah.
And we were just like diving in. It was like, oh, I've got to get on this and join the party. And it was just like, it was crazy time. So many memories, so many people that I've met that has been a privilege to have called friends.
Yeah.
Sadly, not all still in contact.
Yeah, Vladi, I'll tell you, if I ever get back to the UK, which I will one day, you and I got to have a beer or something together.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what Alita's done for me. She's kind of made a mark on my life as well. You know, I mean, and of course, so much to the point that I've adopted her as my niece. So. That's pretty much it for me, I think, guys.
And if she doesn't get a sequel, she will have motivated me to destroy Disney.
No, buddy. Nah. See, for me, all this what we're doing here, what I'm doing, the videos, the streams, you know, stuff like this.
They'll wonder, why is our company in flames right now? Because we didn't greenlight a sequel, because it motivated Vladdy to destroy this evil company.
To go, to
I mean, like metaphorically in terms of their stocks and everything.
Yeah.
Not literally in flames.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, for me, this is fun. You know, I mean, you know, I mean, I love
it's fun, but at the same time, it's also like depressing to see like all the people who've loved Alita along the way have just like drifted away. Like freaking Dennis has disappeared now, and it's just like, oh, some of the people I was really close to, and it's just so sad. Like, if Disney had just announced a sequel right after Avatar 2, everything would have been different.
Well, I have a feeling that all these people that have drifted away, you know, I think when the sequel is greenlit, you'll see these people all come back.
I wish I had your positive outlook on that.
Well, I do.
I tend to always just think the worst. Like, they're never, even if the sequel gets announced, they're never coming back. Like, they're probably just like given up hope and just like, I don't know, don't even want to say it.
Well, Vladi, I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of doing that.
Indeed. Yeah. It's like, come on, don't let them win.
I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. And when the Creaky is 160 years old, I'll still be doing it with new technologies. So.
I mean, we're going to run out of stuff to talk about eventually if they don't give us new content. Why don't they at least give us a TV series or something? What the hell are they doing?
Well, I tell you what, remember, I think I said this last week, that there's that scene at the end of Avengers, The Age of Ultron. It's a post-credit scene where Thanos, you know, puts his hand in the Infinity Gauntlet and he says, fine, I'll do it myself. So if we don't get a sequel, I'm going to put together a little story myself. As a matter of fact, I've already started working on that with my actress friend, you know, that we're going to do we'll start out just by doing a quick little short, you know. Alita comes to visit her Uncle Creek in the Kansas bar. That's what it'll be, you know. And it'll be like a Badlands arc time period, you know, something like that. So, and of course,
yeah, I need to see this lady in her cosplay. Do you need me to send you a suit yet?
She hasn't given. Well, this lady, her name's Jackie. She's really good, but this girl travels. I mean, goddamn, I can't keep up with her. You know, we were lucky to get her on these two film festival shorts we did several years ago, because she was wonderful in those things, you know. But yeah, you know, and we'll send a DM back and forth, but we never seem to kind of get things moving, you know. But she did say she would do it, you know. She did say that, so it's just a matter of us kind of getting things synchronized, I think, you know.
These bloody cosplayers, man. You send them suits and everything, and then they say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then they just never do it.
Well, she's more than a cosplayer. I mean, she's been in several movies, and she was actually in the Hunger Games. She had a small part in that, but, you know, she's...
Hey, X-Man's just joined. Hey, X-Man.
Hey, X-Man 577. What's happening?
Thank God X-Man's still around.
Yeah.
I love everyone who's still here and everyone who's departed. I hope to see everyone soon. Come back, Dennis. I miss you.
Well, we'll get dizzy on a stream. Remember here about 2 months ago, he came on a stream and I saw him in the backstage. I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because he used the
He's
handle.
Always
Mike
bringing the chaos
Hunt.
busy.
Yeah. Mike Hunt. It's funny. Oh,
Classic
geez.
Australian.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get down to Aussie land there, Angelus. You know,
X-Man.
We'll get
X-Man,
down
good to hear it. Still alive and
we'll
kicking.
get we'll fly to Brisbane first, then we'll go down to Sydney, and then we'll fly to Tasmania, and then we'll fly to New Zealand. My mother always wanted to go to New Zealand, so I guess I'm gonna go there and then fly back to the States. So I'll kind of do what Angelus did in the States, except in reverse in Australia. So okay, guys. Well, I can't think of
what were you going to record next?
Well, Angelus and I are going to record tomorrow's Radio Chaos show.
Yeah, I know that. What was the topic?
It's going to be the interviews with Demetrius Polito.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. It's quite late.
No, that's all right. Now, we're not going to be on there for like 3 hours. Basically,
you're just doing like in
we just do
bits.
the setup, and then I can dub in or edit in the interviews, so that's not a big deal.
Yeah, another Alita motivated me to meet Tilly. I've met her at that. There was a lovely screening in a little English town in the countryside, and there was a whole charity thing, and Tilly was there along with like the mayor of the town. It was so wholesome, a lovely summer's evening.
Well, Vladi, you want to get in the recording with us? I can shoot you a link.
Oh, it's so late.
Yeah, I mean, since we are doing Tilly, and you know Tilly personally,
yeah. How long do you think it will take?
Probably no more than 30 minutes.
We don't sit through the whole thing, do we?
No, we don't. No.
All right. Yeah, I'll go on. I'll stay on if you want me.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to stay on here. What we're going to do is we're going to jump into another one. I'll have to send you a link. I'll send it to you in the DMs.
Okay.
On X. Okay. And then you can jump off, and then Angelus and I'll jump off, and when we end this stream, and then we'll jump on the other one. Okay. Well, Channel, I guess. Channel wasn't.
I just got another Diet Coke anyway, so.
Oh, well,
it's 12:30 at night. My Diet Coke addiction has got really bad.
Uh-oh. So, anything, Angelus or Vladi, you can remember that Alita motivates you to do?
Well, Alita is quite a positive thing to support. It's like a piece of art that motivated me to move in that direction. Whereas it's so easy to become like the world is so dark. There's so much like evil stuff happening. So when you have something like that, it like motivates you to focus on something positive. Yes. And I really value that about Alita and what that brought into my life and how it's got me to meet all these people and having this chat with you guys and everything like that.
Oh, yeah. That makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Angelus?
Yeah. It's like it's affected me so much that, you know, I look to the past and like, you know, I smile in fond memories. I think to the present and like it just motivates me to keep going. And then I look to the future and I see what can be, I guess, is the best way to put it. And
what should be.
What should be.
All right. Well, I guess that pretty much hits it. Okay, now just to wrap it up a little bit, I guess, you know, some of the stuff, when we bring this up several times before, but here are some ways that you can support Alita. Certainly being active on social media, and it doesn't have to be X. It can be Blue Sky. I know the Creek just got on Blue Sky this past week. It's a lot of fun, you know, and there's some good folks.
Oh, really?
On it. Yeah.
Am I following you yet?
I don't know. I'll have to look you up.
What are you, Muscogee Creek, on that?
Are you? Yeah, I'm Creek Indian, Alita Army on that one as well.
Creek Indian.
Yeah. And of course, being on. Of course, being on.
I just followed you.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'll follow you back when I get back.
I see you're posting there now. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Twitter seems to be going strong lately.
Yeah, you know.
It's like, I don't know. We're seeing crazy times right now.
Twitter pisses me off. It pisses me off sometimes because I'll, you know, if you mess up, if I type in my password wrong or something like that, then I get this, you know, what's your phone number? And I type that in. Oh, suspicious login detected, you know, and oh my God. then I'm locked out, you know, stuff like that, you know. It's really irritating, you know, but it hasn't done it for the last 2 days now.
Yeah, I assumed you got locked out because it's like political stuff.
That political bullshit I put out there. Yeah, no, I haven't done that.
Yeah, you're political operative.
Well, the last time I was actually put in Twitter jail was in, I guess, a couple of years ago. I kept calling people dumbass on there because of their, you know, some of the stuff I'd see on their, you know, their tweets or whatever. And I go, where the hell did that damn idea come from? You know, and I'd make the term, I'd use the term dumbass and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, you violated our community guidelines or something. And this kind of stuff, you know. So I got put in Twitter jail like 3 times before I wised up and started using the term dumbass, but instead of typing in the S's, I put in $signs. So then that kind of took that out, I think. But now one other thing I would say about this, and this applies to the gaming network too, we don't do politics on there. Now, I think you guys all know my political beliefs, but I don't want that in Alita. I don't want any of this. I don't want any conservative values. I don't want any liberal values. I just want Alita to be Alita as a character. And, you know, I want to be entertained by it. I want it to be like an escape kind of thing, and none of this political stuff on either side. I don't want it, you know. So anyway, what's this? Well, it got me in trouble, X-Man. I don't know, you know, it got me in trouble. And that plus, you know, saying shit, you know, stuff like that, you know. So
yeah, best to avoid
Yeah.
Trying to think of the word. What's the word when you just ad hominem? Is that the word? Yeah. Just avoid ad hominems.
Well, you put special characters like an exclamation point instead of the I, you know, stuff like
that. Yeah. I tend to do that now if I'm saying like, if I'm doing, because I've been banned, I've been suspended for saying I'm just killing time.
Yeah.
Which is so ridiculous. So if I'm saying like I had to when one of my budgies was like had a strawberry on its face or something, I had to write she murdered a strawberry, but I took out the U and put a star in because I didn't want it to think I literally murdered a strawberry.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is what it is. By the way, if you want to do videos, I know Chaos Nova and I, and this pertains to streaming too. If you want to start doing this, let me or Chaos Nova, we have said we will help you. You know, we'll kind of show you the basics and get you going because it's fun doing this. I just love doing Alita videos. It's just really nice, you know. If that's not your thing, if you don't do videos or you don't feel like, I don't feel like sitting in front of a keyboard and a mouse and putting together a video. If you can draw, as an example, you know, draw a picture of Alita. You know, that Channel does that, KranberriJam does that, Matu does that. You know, for sure. You know, write a fanfic. You know, you can do that as well, and it doesn't have to be a novel. A very short story will be fine. You know, I mean, we would love to see that because. I don't know. I know how Vladi and Angelus feel. We are actually hungry for that kind of Alita content where we see Alita doing stuff, you know. I mean, I love seeing that stuff, you know. I mean, I've read 21 of 25 chapters of Lee's fanfic. I've read all of Maxie's the chapters of his fanfic, and it's really nice. You start reading it and you get involved in it, you know. Certainly you can buy and read the manga. And as always, you know, kind of participate in these streams. You know, I mean, I know here on this stream, we love for people to come on the stream. You know, I mean, if you want to come on and just say, I love Alita, we love that. You know, in Radio Chaos, it's a little more formal. You got to put your name in a sign-up sheet and all that. But it's still the people, you know, us on Radio Chaos as well. You know, we're not ogres. We're not going to eviscerate you for bad English or, you know, for not saying something when you should be saying something else or whatever. We're not going to get into that with you. You know, you being on the stream to us is kind of a validation. You know, we love seeing people come on the stream. I know I do. I think Angelus does as well. And last but not least, write some letters to Disney and tell them we want a sequel. You know, do that. And if it's not letter writing, then if you get on Twitter or you get on Facebook or Instagram or Blue Sky or one of them, Reddit, you know, tag Disney, you know, tell them we want a sequel. You know, I mean, do that. You know, it just reminds them that here we are. We are not going anywhere, you know. So any thoughts about this, guys?
No. Yeah, just keep going at Disney.
And don't look at it.
Alita.
Yeah, don't look at it as something that, you know, oh my God, if I don't get a sequel, why am I continue to do this? If you enjoy doing it, if you love to do this, like write a fanfic, write another one. You know, I mean, if it's fun, it's not a big deal. Just do it, you know. So anyway, that's Vladi, I didn't mean.
Yeah, it's good social practice as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Anything else, guys? Angelus, anything you can think of that's not on that list there?
No.
What about like conduct occult rituals to try and like get the sequel going? That could be on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean like
magic?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like
Disney are doing it all the time, so we've got to use their own evil against them. They're like doing rituals to Lucifer. We need to like do rituals to like, I don't know, something that can counter them.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. We used to have when I was married to my second wife, we had a totem pole out in the front yard because we're both Indians, you know. And,
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, use some of that magic.
Well, that totem pole collapsed about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, it did.
Your ancestors are going to be pissed at you.
Yeah, they already are probably. But anyway.
Damn it, Ricky.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway,
yeah, you need to do like instead of a rain dance, do an Alita sequel dance.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Of course, didn't you, Vladi, one time say you wanted to do like an exercise thing over the internet?
Oh, yeah. Weren't we going to do an Alita Army fitness?
Yeah.
Thing? You were supposed to lead it.
Yeah, well, I'm not a personal trainer, but I can show you what I know, you know. So anyway, of course, I just do mostly powerlifting. Maybe I get my nephew to help me. He's a personal trainer, so maybe he can do that. So, so, all right, guys. I can't think of anything else unless you can.
No, let's crack on with the tomorrow's thing.
You betcha. So, and no more topics, I guess. And we didn't miss anything, but except I want to say that
you've already asked that question like 5 times now.
Yes, I have. And you see in that fence,
now we've got your slide
right
asking
there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. So anyway, just remember that. And if you don't like that, you can take that shit up with her. So there you have it. Here's our queen right here, who we hope to give that bust to here in the near future. And of course, in terms of being an actress, she's #1 in the Creeks book. That's for sure. You know, she was great in Alita. And I want to give a shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher because they brought Screwhead to life. And we want Screwhead in the sequel as well. You know, want her to team up with Alita, get on Alita's motorball team and go after that rascal Joshigan, you know. So all 3 of these ladies are really good at what they do. Certainly Rosa and Elle are good as actresses, but Jessie's really good as a stunt woman as well. And didn't you send her a Berserker bodysuit, didn't you?
Yes, I did, I think.
And she did a handstand or something.
She did the handstand.
Nice. Yeah, that was
again
pretty cool.
I don't think she's worn it since, but never mind.
Well, I bet she hadn't forgot us though. So, you know.
If I could do what she could do, I'd be wearing that suit every weekend.
Another thing that Alita motivates you to do.
Yeah, to wear the suit.
Yeah, give out all the cosplay suits.
Yeah, there you go.
I've still got loads in there. I need to do something for Alita Day. It's just been, I was ready to launch the Alita Day Twitter account, but obviously we just had that shock of John passing.
Yeah.
And everything's just been thrown off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll get.
I really want an update. I want to hear Rose. I want to hear I want to hear her pay tribute to John and everything.
I want to see
that. She will. And she'll obviously give an update then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just worried that it won't be positive. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I want to see Rose's face light up when we give her the bust. That's what I want to see. Yeah, that'd be so neat, you know. But anyway. Okay, but as I say every week, these ladies are good at what they do, but it sure doesn't hurt that they're pretty, because they are. And tomorrow, in which this is one of the things we're going to be doing after the stream here, is recording this, is that we're going to do just 2 interviews on this one. But it'll be like a regular stream. Now it won't be a stream in that it's live, but the chat will be on, and you can, you know, kind of chat with each other, whatever on there, and make comments and stuff like that. And just like a real stream. The only difference will be is I won't be there to display some of them, you know. So, but you can still watch it, and it'll still be pretty good, and you'll see some of the, you know, some of the memories that came out of that. Those of you that were in the Alita Army when these 2 interviews happened. So. next week on the Alita live stream, and this is a first. This is the first time we've ever announced what the stream is going to be about next week. We're going to talk about how the Army military could have won the Battle of Zalem. You remember, if you remember from the movie, you know, there were like, what did Hugo say, 12 floating cities in the movie. Now in the manga, there's only 2, I think, but in the movie there was 12, and only Zalem remained after that. So the Army military actually lost the battle, because Zalem, if they had won the battle, you know, Zalem would have not been up there, you know. But we're going to go over a couple of things that might have enabled the Army military to win that actual battle, you know, and we'll even see a little cut from the movie that would show how they could have won the battle itself. So check that one out next week. And of course, we are the Alita Army. We support Rosa and Alita passionately and positively. We do. You know, we are here to stay, Disney, and we do all kinds of cool things, you know, as a fandom and as the Alita Army. And we are not going anywhere, Disney. You hear that? We are here. We are going to be here long after Bob Iger's gone. So, you know, it's just a fact, you know.
Yeah, he's not going to be around. He'll be gone in a couple of years.
It's something like that.
He's bought a women's soccer team.
Oh my God.
So it was a soccer team that had been set up by a bunch of celebrities.
He doesn't know jack shit about soccer, does he?
No, he's just buying it. It's like a virtue signaling thing. He's like, I'm going to support you. You know, he's just such an idiot. Can't stand that guy.
Rich boy thing, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's just like,
oh my gosh. All right.
Just hate everything about him.
Well, I hate that he hasn't greenlit the sequel yet. Now, to be fair, though,
like my hate is so much. I don't want to. It's like, it's even bigger now, but I don't want to talk about it.
Well, you know, I think
John should have celebrated the sequel announcement with us.
Yes, that would have been
But
great.
he didn't, because of Bob Iger's fucking power play against Cameron, because he didn't want him to be a big shot or something. That's just so stupid.
To be fair, though, what also could be at play is that, you know, see, Cameron right now is still doing the avatars, and
yeah, but they knew that, and Cameron was.
They knew that.
They were confident that they were going to get the sequels as soon as Avatar 2 gave Disney all that money.
Yeah,
and it seems like Bob Iger did that. I think in Cameron's eulogy to John, he said John was a producer who created without wielding power, or something like that. And it's just like, it just seems like the opposite of Iger.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive him. I'll never forgive him.
I do want Cameron, though, to stick to his guns. If Disney just tries to throw something together, you know, because they're hurting for money or something like that, if they just try that shit, I want Cameron to say, we ain't doing that. We're going to put together a quality movie, and it's going to be faithful to the manga, for one thing. And, you know, we want to put together, you know, something that the fans will love and stuff like that. We're not going to put together another Marvel movie. We're not going to do that, you know, because that would destroy everything. And maybe that's going on too, Vladi. You might say, no, we're not doing that, you know.
Well, again, that's Bob Iger's fault.
Well, it is. There's no doubt about that, but still.
So, yeah, that's all I was saying. I'm never going to forgive him that we never got to celebrate with John the sequel announcement.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it?
Literally, this is like a kind of thing that Bob Iger's done that will haunt him for the rest of his life.
Yep. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up, I guess. Why is this?
Note.
Yes, on that particularly positive note. Even though we said we support Rosa and Alita positively. Why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it. and I'm the producer and the stream manager here, and that's why it's another reason it's there. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us are only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And having that said, only one thing left to do, and that is the call to action. And that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. All right, so we will catch you, I guess, well, you'll catch us on Radio Chaos tomorrow, and then we'll catch you on Alita Livestream next Friday. Bye.
See ya.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.